So while this gets loaded up, I can actually just start going through and giving you a little bit of context on the project. So we have been going through a process to build what we call the Landside Access Modernization Program. That's a government acronym for LAMP. And what it is it's essentially the People Mover project. It's the project that will connect the airport with Metro, the light rail system throughout Southern California. So I'm going to walk through a map of what this all looks like here next, and that way you can actually see what the route is and what we plan to do starting here next summer. Next summer we will be breaking ground. We are going through an RFP process currently. Two components of this is a P3 project. So the actual guideway, the People Mover, that is going to be done through a P3. So basically, we are the first APM that will be done as a P3. We're also the largest P3 project in the state of California, and we're very close behind LaGuardia in terms of public-private partnerships. So it's an exciting project for LAX, the city, and our state. The Consolidated Rent-A-Car Facility is our second P3 project as part of this program. It's about a $1 billion project, and we are issuing that RFP. The draft RFP actually goes out tomorrow, and we plan to release the final RFP for that in April. So let's load up that presentation, and I'll go through the map that way give you some context as to what's going on. So let's go to slide 3 there, and this will give an overview.
Imagine soaring above traffic to easily access
There we go.
LAX. That dream is becoming a reality. Plans to build an automated People Mover to quickly access the airport terminals. The People Mover will transport guests along a 2.25-mile elevated guideway to 6 convenient stops, 3 inside the terminal area and 3 outside. The train will run every 2 minutes, operate 24 hours a day, and will be free to airport users. The People Mover will connect directly to LA Metro's Crenshaw and Green lines, providing access to LA's regional transit system. We'll also be adding 2 new locations to make parking and passenger pickup and drop-off much easier, and building a new center to house all rental car agencies in one place, providing an easier way to rent and return cars at the airport. Together, these improvements will reduce terminal area congestion by as much as 27%, improve traffic conditions at 30 intersections, and greatly help air quality. Expected to be operational by 2023, the People Mover is an exciting improvement at LAX. Want email updates or more information? Visit connectinglax.com.
So this next map here, this will show you the components of the People Mover project. So this is the Consolidated Rent-A-Car Facility. That is next to the 405 freeway, so it gives quick access to and from our region's freeways. This is heading towards the west. This is another intermodal facility. It's a park and ride. You can pick up, drop off people as well. There'll be municipal bus operators, commuter bus, pick up and drop off at this location. This here is the Metro, Crenshaw, and Green Line extension. So that is currently under construction and will be completed in 2019. That connects with the APM. Moving further to the west, we have another intermodal transportation facility. This is another parking structure, as well as a kiss and ride, and other, you can pick up and drop off at this location as well. And then moving into the terminal area, we're all familiar with this terminal loop and all the terminals. There's 3 stations, 1, 2, and 3. This is next to Tom Bradley. And all these are connected with pedestrian bridges, with travelators heading down into each one of the terminals. So this is about a 4-minute walk from station into terminal. It's actually relatively close once you actually walk it. We're also familiar with just driving through that we don't realize this stuff is actually very close within proximity of each other. So this is the program end to end. It's 2.25 miles. It's a 10-minute run if you're going from end to end. So if you get on at one of these other stations and want that reliable way to get into the terminals, it could be much less. It could be 6 minutes or less, depending on what terminal and what station you get off at. So I mentioned the rental car companies. This is a dot map of where they are around the airport. These will all get consolidated into the consolidated rental car facility. This is a project phase. So we plan to get started here next summer with some groundbreakings on different facilities. And then by 2023, we plan to have the APM operational, as well as the consolidated rent-a-car facility and the intermodal transportation facility west. So we will be going through a lot of construction all around the airport. So we're taking the line down Centerway. That's because we have to operate an airport that's growing. We have 84 million passengers a year that are using LAX. Back up 9 years ago, we were at 59 million. So we are now the 4th largest airport in the world, second in the United States. But what's most significant is that we're the world's largest origin and destination airport, which means that people leave the airport, visit our great city, and then they go back. So this project is even more important now than ever because of that stat. We are the world's largest origin and destination airport. So as I mentioned, 2023 is when we plan to have this project completed. We wish we had it completed today, but that's the process that we're going through. So these are lots that are around each one of the facilities that will be developed in phase 2. Once the APM is built, we'll look to develop these lots to give airport users a different, something to do. So if they want to go see the movies, maybe go do a little bit of shopping, these are not intended to be uses for a regional draw. We don't want to draw more traffic in and around the airport. We want to provide airport users that are having layovers something to do, and that's what we're looking at using these properties for. The consolidated rent-a-car facility, I gave you an overview on why we're doing it, but it's 6 million square feet. Just to give you a context in that, the Disney parking structure down at Disneyland, this is twice the size of that. So it gives you an idea as to how large this is. There's lots of demand. We are also thinking about the future when we build all of these parking structures and facilities. We are future-proofing the buildings, is what we're saying. So we are planning on putting conduit throughout these entire structures so that they could be 100% electric. We're also making the roofs flat and giving enough space for HVAC if we ever need to convert the buildings in the future. We are very aware of autonomous vehicles and the potential use, and we think that this could become a hub in the future for autonomous vehicles as they go in, they park, and they recharge. So these are the things that we're thinking about. We are planning to have plenty of power, for example, to power these buildings if they become 100% electric. So we're thinking ahead, we're thinking to the future. We know that the mobility patterns and habits of tomorrow will be very different from today, and we're thinking of all those options. This is just a concept, a design concept. The design of this has been a huge priority for us. We have worked with 3 bid teams on their designs, their respective designs. And we've guidelines for them. They've submitted their designs, and then we've actually sat down and reviewed their designs prior to them submitting a bid to us. And that is because we want to make sure that all 3 teams who are bidding to build this project meet our criteria first, and we're satisfied with them. We don't want a team coming in and saying, this is our design and we don't like it, and then we're setting their bid aside. That's not part of the process. We've already pre-qualified their designs prior to them actually bidding on building this project. So the design concept is mid-century modern. We want to bring a cohesion to the airport. We want to pull it together, and this project is going to do that. This is the 2 intermodal transportation facilities that I've already mentioned. They're around 8,000 spaces each. And this is a concept, another mid-century modern, open, ARI. And there's the spine of the project, the automated people mover. This location to the north here, this is the maintenance facility for the project. And the passenger walkways, they're about 35 feet long, 40 feet above grade. There's the terminal interfaces. This is the connection to Metro, as I mentioned. They will be completed before we will. And what we plan to do is bus individuals who want to be connected to the airport from that station as an interim move until the APM is built. And this gives you a concept of what it looks like. It is completely elevated, so there's no at-grade incursions or crossings that we have to deal with, so it makes it a much more reliable system. And this is a look at it of what it would look like at night. So this project is going to create thousands of jobs, has economic benefit into the billions. And the APM, the whole project as I described it is $5.5 billion. And we are doing those two main components, the majority of it is through that P3 partnership. So I'd be happy to take any questions because I know there usually is lots of questions about this project within the last little bit of time that we have. Yes?
Yes, in terms of the rental cars, have you thought, like, you've been to Indianapolis, the Blue Indy, the electric cars, and right downtown, take them to the airport. Electric cars, car share, electric cars, is this on? Car shares, electric cars, Blue Indy, have you thought about alternative vehicles and automobiles, companies rather than just the standard 12 rental cars, but zip?
There's all those options. We have bike facilities at the metro station as well. All mobility options are part of this. The flyaway is part of this. That's a service that we provide, and we're looking at how we're going to utilize the flyaway as part of this. The flyaway, we cherish the flyaway, and we want to make it more efficient and more utilized than what it is today.
You should add this to your map, so.
Hey, Mark. How do you incentivize people who are very comfortable, driving through that loop today, dropping their car off, from using some other, driving farther and then their loved ones or their friends have to use the train? How do we incentivize them to use this?
That's a great question. My background's in marketing, so I'm always looking at ways to do that. And I think when you're going to have an experience on this that's convenient and reliable, I think the reliability factor alone is going to be an incentive for people to use this. When we build this, there will be more people who use this APM than the air train at JFK. And that's because the number of shuttles that are currently going through for all of those rental car companies, those will no longer be needed because we'll be providing people with a more convenient, reliable way to get to the consolidated rent-a-car facility. But even outside of that, I think this is going to be much more reliable and convenient because you'll be able to walk and get on that station and get out to one of those intermodal facilities and have somebody pick you up without having the stress of going through that terminal loop and seeing if you identify that person next to that column and then have to get in their car. So I think because it's just going to be more convenient, more reliable.
Will you have the options though?
Absolutely.
But there won't be any toll or any kind of way to discern?
Not at this point, no.
Okay, great. Well, let's thank our speaker one more time. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.